Hi, my name is Eleftheria, and thank you so much for this beautiful introduction. And yes, I'm coming from Greece, and I am an app developer. I've been watching this conference so far, and I have to admit that we had some really, really good speeches, some great speakers, and I'm really excited of taking part as well. So today and in my session, we will talk about when you think there is no time. Because I think that a lot of people have this problem. They think that they don't have much time, but actually they do. Okay, let's start from the very basics of who am I. As I've already mentioned, my name is Eleftheria, and I'm coming from Greece. I am an app developer, but also a content creator, which means that I love to create content. I love creating YouTube videos. I love creating some articles, which I'm always trying to publish them. I'm always on Twitter, and you can find me on my social media. Again, I'm really, really active on Twitter, but of course, you can reach me anywhere you may like. So, my talk is divided into three parts. The first one is my coding journey, how I started, and I hope that by that I will give you some inspiration of learning and never stop learning. And my second part is tips and techniques of habit formation. And the last part is dealing with frustration and stress, as I think that most of us from time to time, sometimes we are a little bit stressed, we're a little bit frustrated. So, how can we fix that? All right, let's get started. So, I've graduated from a polytechnical university, which means I did a lot of maths, a lot of physics, a lot of electronics, but not a lot of coding. And when I was in my fourth year out of 5 years, because yes, it's 5 years, the Polytechnical University is in Greece, I started doing an internship and it was with coding, with front end things. So I thought that yes, this is pretty cool. This is what I want to do. And then I had one more year of studies. I did that as well. And as soon as I graduated, I moved to the Netherlands just to do an internship. That internship was great. And I finally knew that I want to work as a front end developer. But there was a problem that my skills were not good enough in order to find a job. I started looking for jobs while I was doing my internship, and everyone was asking for so many things, and I barely even knew the basics. But every morning back then and still now, after all of these years, I used to read articles like all over the internet. And one day I found a really cool article in Medium named something between the lines 100 Days of Code and the Benefits of It. I started reading that article and it was talking actually about a challenge. Maybe some of you already know that challenge. It was created by Alexander Calway, and the benefits of it was that hey, you would code for 100 days and you will build a portfolio, and of course, you will be better at coding, which was exactly my goal. I wanted to be better at coding and potentially find a job. So the next thing I know is heck yeah, challenge accepted. Let's do that. I took part in that challenge, and the things that I had to do was to code for 1 hour every day for 100 days. The next step was to upload the code on GitHub, and that would really help me to build the portfolio, which was something that a lot of people, a lot of bosses were looking for. And the third thing was to go on Twitter and encourage other people either to take part in that challenge or give them feedback or ask feedback. And I have to admit that at first I was very, very shy with Twitter. I wasn't even using it a lot before that challenge, but I started getting more and more into that. I started asking for feedback and I gave a lot of feedback. Still today, after like all those years, I'm still following the hashtag of 100 Days of Go. I still go there and I still encourage people to take part as it really gave me a lot of things. And I'm going to be talking about these things just in a bit. So, what do I code? Let's see. There are so many sources to learn. If you want to learn something, there is always a source, and usually it's also free or it can be found free. So all of for you that are asking, yes, I want to code, yes, I want to learn, but where do I start? Well, trust me, there are online educational platforms, things such as Udemy, Udacity, Coursera, Pluralsight. Like there are so many great things, and again, they can be found or they are free. The next thing is YouTube. Okay, YouTube has so many great courses, either for more beginners or for more advanced persons. There are online communities, and yep, I mean Stack Overflow. We wouldn't be there if it wasn't for Stack Overflow. And then there are coding challenges. I've already mentioned the challenge of 100 days of code, but it's not only that. I took part in other challenges like daily CSS images, 30 days, 30 sites, and a ton of other challenges that sometimes they send you an email, and in that email there is a theme of something to code, or there is like a link to read something or to see something. And last but not least, there are magazines and books, either like online magazines or like PDFs and ebooks and stuff like that, and they are coming very handy. You can read that like anytime, either on your phone or your desktop, on your laptop, everywhere. And from the other hand, like if you want to build something, if you have the sources but you don't have the inspiration, then again, just read blogs, browse different forums, follow different publications. I've already mentioned Medium, but of course there is Dev2, there is HackerNoon, there is like so many things. Find your favorite developers, stalk them, like literally find them in LinkedIn, in Twitter, trying to see what they are up to, and then go to meetups and attend the conferences. Pretty much, I'm sure that you already do that because you are here and you're watching this beautiful thing that's happening right now. So I'm pretty sure that in real life you go as well to meetups and to conferences. Now, as for what did I learn and what were my goals, as I said, like I was a total beginner at first. I just like knew the very basics of HTML and CSS, and my goal was to become a front-end developer. So my main goal this time was to be a rock star in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which I still believe are the main things for someone who wants to be a front-end developer, but also start using Git and maybe GitHub or GitLab or something like that. And also, I was seeing like all the other big developers that they were using the console and the developer tools, and I had no idea of what was that. I was just seeing like either a black screen or like a lot of different tabs that they were clicking on them, and they were seeing things. I couldn't understand what was that, so I knew I had to learn a few things about the developer tools. And also, my other goal was to be friends with a framework. I picked AngularJS. Now, I know that that wasn't a very good choice. If you don't know that, AngularJS is going to be deprecated, so not a lot of people are using that. That was not a good decision. But from the other hand, I also learned a data visualization library. I stuck with D3GS, and that was actually a very good choice because it led me to my first few freelancing jobs. So that was a good choice. Now, what did I build? Because I talked about inspiration, I talked about resources and stuff like that. But what did I actually do? Well, since my first goal was to learn HTML, CSS, I took part on another challenge, and this challenge was called Daily CSS Images. And in that challenge, for 50 days, you were getting an email with something to code, and you had to code that only with CSS and HTML. So all the images that you see right now are built with only CSS, and my first sketches, like they were really simple, and I had not much clue of what I was doing, but I think that my next ideas, my next sketches, and my next projects were like a little bit better. Now, my other goal was to learn JavaScript, and I started working with JavaScript and as well with games, like how to build games in JavaScript. My inspiration here is coming from Free Code Camp. If you look at their curriculum, they have like some amazing projects and some amazing like stuff to do and stuff to build. So if you're also looking on some JavaScript projects, I would totally recommend you Free Code Camp. So I did the tic-tac-toe game, and I also did the Simon Says game and quite a few others. Then my next goal was to learn AngularJS, and I started building some small things. Now by now you may have like realized that 100 days were passing, but I was still doing things. I was still interested in learning, and my mind was like always, okay, you did your internship or you did that, but then you'll go home and you will code, you will read, you will study. So my mind was always there. So although the challenge has ended, I started taking parts in other challenges as well, and I started building like more and more things. So here is another game. It's called The Game of Life, and I particularly remember that it took me some days even like to realize the rules of this game, then to build the algorithm, and then to build the actual game. And here is like a project with data visualization. And this is also one of my latest projects and one of the latest challenges that I took part in, which is called Daily UI. And this time my focus has changed a little bit. It was not so much on coding, but it was on design as well. So I started also working with UI and UX design. And I hope that I build some beautiful things. Okay, so I mentioned some other challenges and not only 100 days of code, which was my main challenge. What were these challenges? So obviously the first one was 100 days of code. And if you check the date, it's like the first one with the red letters. It's just one day before New Year. So although most people like on that day, like New Year's Eve, they are go out, they are partying and they are doing beautiful things, I was home and I was like starting my coding journey. And also, if you notice, like the third challenge, daily CSS images, if you notice the day, it is on Valentine's Day. Maybe I didn't have anything better to do on Valentine's Day as well. Okay, just saying that. And as you can see, I took part on other challenges and other challenges and other challenges. Like here you can see on the last line, the 100 days of YouTube. Here I was for 100 days on YouTube and I was uploading videos every day. And this video had to do with my coding experiences or how to build that and this and this. It was like real nice. It was a bit tough, but also like really nice. And now the last challenge that I did, which was the daily UI. And I have to tell you a little bit secretly, I haven't told that to anyone else, that I'm thinking of doing another round of 100 days of code because like these days on my mind, I have something else that I want to learn. But anyway, we will talk about that maybe another time. So, what did I gain from doing all these challenges and all those beautiful projects and things? Well, I learned to be more optimistic and grateful for the things that I have done, for the people I have near me. I met a lot of people with different backgrounds and different aspirations, and I learned to believe more in myself. I certainly got better at time management and setting up my priorities and goals, as well as I traveled a lot. Maybe it doesn't seem like it's very connected, but trust me, it is. Because as a developer, you maybe go to a conference, which is in another country. You may go somewhere for a freelancing job, which is not your home. I do also love traveling, so that was an amazing experience as well. Would I recommend signing up for a challenge like this? And the short answer is yes. Like, heck, yes. If you want to learn, if you want to meet people, if you want to build your connections, then yes, start doing things, start creating things, and don't be afraid of pushing yourself out there and pushing yourself like in front of other people's, because you have to show your projects, you have to get feedback, and to you have to let the other people know that you're learning things and you want to develop yourself. Cool. That was about me, but we still have to go through the second and the third part of my session. Now, the second part is about building habits because I think that one of the things that I learned doing all of these things was like building the habit of learning. And I think that this is quite important. I don't know if you agree with me. I hope that you agree. But building and having habits is really important. I will start with a quote. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. I'm not telling you that coding is easy. I'm not telling you that learning is easy, but I'm telling you that it's going to be worth it. Okay, so let's start with habits and how to form habits. Again, the first thing that you have to know is that you will experience resistance. Everyone feels that, everyone has that. Like, dare you to do something good, and resistance will be always there. Resistance will always get you. Like, try to diet, for example, and a cookie will be there, an ice cream will be there. Like, resistance is always there. Know that and understand that so you can move forward. One thing that can really help you is setting some limits. And I have like a few rules here that maybe are interested. Don't spread your effort around. Focus on one thing at a time and try for consistency over volume. It's better to have just a little free time rather than too much. And let me give you an example. Let's say that you have to build like a big project which is like really important. It's for a client or something. You don't want to leave that project for the weekend. You want to like go every day into your home, into your room, into your desktop and start building. And you don't want this only to build something. You want to be very specific about what are you going to build. Is it going to be the login form? Is it going to be like the register form? Have a plan in your mind, stick to that plan, and always work on that goal. The next thing is track your progress visually. It's like we say, don't break the chain, which between like the image that you're viewing right now, it's from while I was doing the 100 days of code. Our mind is like a really powerful thing, but it's also a really visual thing. You don't want to break the chain. When you see that beautiful green tile, you want to continue having that. And I'm pretty sure that if you're working with GitHub, you also have like the same mindset as I have. Keep a log, keep a calendar, or write on a notebook. And again, I'm pretty sure a lot of times you have read that wow, it's really important to keep a notebook. But yes, it is. Start doing that. For me personally, the simpler the calendar or the notebook is, the better it's working. So for me, it's only just pen and paper, but maybe for you, it's something completely different. It can be an app on your phone or in your desktop, I don't know, but try to write that. Make the habit to write everything down, everything that you want to do, like write it down, and then as soon as you complete it, just do a tick note and says, yes, I did it. Because it's not only a visual thing, but it's also an audio thing. Listen to yourself saying that, yes, you did it. Trust me, it works. And also just a few more examples. I've already said that example with dieting. So if you have a cookie in front of you and you're dieting, yes, it's more likely to eat that cookie. So don't have it near you. Instead, change to an apple or a banana. And the same goes to if you're trying to write some code. Have everything already set up so you don't have any excuse to go back to Netflix. Have your like password set up, have your software set up, have everything clear. And now the other thing, which is really, really, really important, is to set any like I don't know, apps, notifications, emails, even your phone, like set them to silent or log out from different services and stuff like that, because you really don't want distractions. You want to have like a clear mind and you want to be focused and you want to do the job. To have a habit, you need to have like three things. There are always these three things. It's the trigger, which is the cue. So something that you will see or something that you will do that it will like trigger the habit of doing that thing. And the habit is the routine, as you can see in the middle. And the last thing is the reward. The reward, it can be either something physical or something, I don't know, materialistic or not. It doesn't matter. The reward, it's going to be something which is like really specific to you. It's something that you will find from person to person. It can be different, but this is how you form a habit. You want the trigger, the routine, and the reward. Some like more examples that maybe can help you is the bright line rules, which says that you should go from something general to something more specific. And again, for the project that I said earlier, that you may have like this big important project, you have to be like very specific. You have to say, I will start from the design of the login page, and I'm going to do that for 1 hour, and after that hour I will take a break, and then I can continue. The more you define your goals, the easier it is going to be to achieve them. And you also have the keystone habit, which says that it leads to the development of multiple good habits, and you should make the keystone habit easy to be performed and maintained. So if an action is good and it's easy to maintain it, you will want to do it again and again and again. So that should be your goal. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Okay, you're thinking that yes, it's great, and I want to do a lot of things, but I don't have the time. Well, guess what? We all have 24 hours. We all have 24 hours. Yes. So you do have the time to do the things that you love to do. There are so many examples that I can give you, but we don't have the time to do so. So I'm going to follow the rules that I have like on that slide. Be ruthless about what you want to do and change only one or two things at a time. You cannot change everything, and that's why also like New Year's resolution never work. Make it so small that you cannot say no, and start from something small and like build upon that. Have a minimum standard, and from there you can always go on. Some other rules here that they can help you with finding the time is like doing two opposite things at the same time, like do code and yoga or code and music, but don't try to learn two similar things at the same time. Like if you're working on front end things, like don't go with Python and JavaScript because they have the same principles, but go maybe with JavaScript and Java. And from the other hand, you also have some time concepts such as Pomodoro technique, which let's say that you want to study or code for 1 hour, but you think it's kind of too much. Then something that can help you is like dividing your time into three parts and be really focused for 20 minutes, like really, really, really focused. And then for 5 minutes, take a small break and repeat that as much as you can. And from the other hand, also, it is the Pareto's principle. This is more like a principle and not so much a concept, which says that 80% of your output comes from 20% of your input. If you realize that, it's really, really, really big. Just 20% of your effort will give you 80% of the results. A quote that I really like says, part of courage is simply consistency. When you see that something works, keep doing that. Consistency is the key to almost everything. And here, like, I have three things that I don't think are so well known, or I don't think that a lot of people are doing them. But for me personally, I find them like really important as well. So one of those things is keep a note to-do list. Yes, you heard that right, a note to-do list. And write in that list that lists things such as I will not watch Netflix, or I won't do that, and have like that paper always in front of you so you know what you have to do. And analyze your day, be really ruthless about that as well. And if you don't have something, imitate it. Okay. I'm going to pass some slides because I think that I don't have much time. This is like dealing with frustration and stress. And I'm going to skip to the last thing, which is how to deal with yourself. A lot of people think that they are not good enough, but trust me, you're great as you are. Don't judge yourself too hard. It's okay to fail, it's okay to change your goal. Remember, we all stuck, we all fail from time to time, and like really don't act like something's wrong with you, because it's not. Take care of yourself, eat, sleep, work out, take showers, and do all of those beautiful things. Enjoy life, and thank you very much. I hope that you liked my presentation. And don't forget to follow me on my social media. I would be glad to chat with you and maybe exchange our ideas there. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful day, and please don't forget to donate.